Money, easy money. Folks, let me let me get in here somewhere where I can both see you and I can see you and you can see me. Can you see me? Can you see me now? I made it. Well, folks, money, easy money. We all need money. Don't we need money? Don't you need money? I need money. Money is evil, is it? Evil. Pure evil. What do we need money for? Well, folks, the snow's falling off the roof. If you want to buy a new car or a car, set of tires, flour to bake with, really whatever, you need money. We live in a money-centric world. It's money, 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 money. You need money. I don't like it any more than you do, but we need money. The person that no matter how pretty you are, how intelligent you are, how clever you are, how talented you are, how well you play your guitar, a little bit windy today. You're still going to need money because the car that you want to buy from the dealership or the guy selling it used, whatever, he needs that money to turn around and buy his food or pay for his daughter's orthodontic work. The flour you buy from that farmer needs to take that money and buy feed for her animals. This is not 8,000 BC Sumerian, Mesopotamian barter kind of society where I would give you my chicken and you would give me your leg of lamb or bag of lentils or a wheelbarrow full of... We're not there. I don't mind if you were there. I look forward to a day that we can a reset button's pressed and we can start over again. But we're not there right now. This land share thing that I'm thinking of starting, or whatever you want to call it, intentional community. I may offer you some land. I may even provide logs for you to build a log cabin, but you're still gonna need a roof. If you don't know how to build a house, you need to hire someone to help you with it or build a house for you, actual house. Do your foundation. What do you do for water? You need to drill a well. You need to, tools. I can lend some tools, but you still need some tools. There's still some things that you need. Even if you're not buying land, you still need money to pay for things. You want to buy your own land? You say you have some money to buy your own land and not have any impositions or people telling you what you can and can't do on this shared land? Fine, I have some land to sell you, but you remember, the point is, I need the money for what I need to spend it on. So, money. If you don't know how to make or save money, you've come to the right place. I just happen to have a whole list of things that you can do today to save yourself some money. It's not in any particular order, but you can start today. Let's start by, let me ask you this. Do you smoke? Do you smoke cigarettes? Do you smoke cigarettes? Okay. I don't know what they cost. I've never smoked. I lived as a child, my dad and my grandfather smoked, and in the enormous hospitality industry that I worked in for 16 years, everyone smoked. The staff smoked. The guests smoked. But I never did. So I don't know what it costs for a packet of cigarettes. Now you tell me, How many packets of cigarettes do you go through a week? I'm hoping it's one. Honestly, to be honest, I'm hoping it's no more than one. And I don't know what that one costs. Now you know what it costs. Write down how much that costs. Multiply it by 52 because it's 52 weeks still in a year, and that's what you're paying for just the packets, just the actual cigarettes that you smoke. I'm not talking about the cost of. I'm coming to that. I'm not talking about the cost of the health, reducing your lung capacity. And if you're planning on coming here, making a life change, to save money to buy some land or move here and build a house here, literally here in this sort of a setting, you're going to need your lungs. You're going to need your health. Do you understand what I'm saying? By reducing your lung capacity, that's not going to help you. You're going to need to be able to, I do, like, come spring or summertime, I'm out 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day working. So that's working, that's carrying stuff, heavy stuff, repetitive motion. You need to have endurance. If you're not able to breathe in your full capacity, it doesn't matter how fresh the air is. You know what I'm saying? All right. So then that's two. Still talking about smoking. So you've reduced your health and the size of your pocketbook or wallet. Now, whether you have some countries, regardless of where you live, you're going to need to pay for some sort of a health insurance. And when you go to get this health insurance, they ask you if you smoke, the history of illnesses, whatever. And when they hear that you're a smoker and how long you've been smoking or whatever, your premium is going to cost you more than someone like me that's never smoked. So that's 3 reasons why to quit smoking, or at least reduce it as much as you can until such time that you can quit it. Now, when you go to get life insurance, same thing. Yeah, you might think, I don't need life insurance, and you may be right, but sometimes, somehow, as people get older, they tend to want to get life insurance. And when you go to get that life insurance, they'll ask you, how long have you smoked? Are you a smoker? All of those things. And again, your premium is going to be higher. The snow's falling off the roof, thank God. In a way not, because it's an extra layer of insulation. Anyway, that's smoking. Drinking. Now, hang in there. By drinking, I'm talking about alcohol now. Don't jump ahead to something else. Do you drink alcohol? Whatever. I don't know what. Wine, beer, spirits, shots of hard liquor, whatever, alcohol. Do you drink that? Do you? How often? Once a day? A bottle of beer a day? 2 bottles of beer a day? A case of beer a week? I don't know. But let me put it to you this way. When I worked as a glorified waiter for 16 years, bartender, whatever, I remember, and this is 25 years ago, exactly, almost 25 years ago, a bottle of hard liquor, say vodka, is 40 ounces. I don't know what they cost now, but I think at that time, let's say they cost $40 a bottle right now. Just take it as an example. That bottle at the place that I bartended at would sell that at $5 a shot. I don't know what a shot of anything is right now, but let's just say it's still $5 a shot for 1 ounce. And the bottle, as you remember, I said it's 40 ounces in that one bottle, right? So that's $200 for that bottle. Now, if you must drink, I'm hoping you can reduce it, but if you must drink at home. You know what I mean? Because that bottle is $40 if you buy it from the liquor store or wherever. But if you go to a bar or a club or a pub or wherever, you're paying a much higher percentage on it because they have an overhead. They have to pay people. I get that, and then we can argue over why they charge as much as they do, that's irrelevant. The fact is that they do. Don't go out to do that. Drink your bottle of wine at home. Bottle of wine, probably the markup on that, I don't know. I don't drink alcohol, so I can't tell you. But and write that down. Write down how much you consume, how many bottles of wine or beer or whatever, hard liquor you consume a week, multiply that by 52, and that's now how much you're spending on that. Staying with the topic of drinking is coffee. Do you drink coffee regularly, daily basis, going to work, on your way to work, on your way back from work? Yeah? Do you? So here's the thing. I don't drink coffee either, or tea. I'm just thinking it must be something like, I'm guessing, $3 a cup. I mean, I know there are different sizes, and then the different places you can get it. You can probably pay maybe $5 or $6 a cup at some fancier places or fancier chains. So if you could take your coffee, your favorite blend of coffee, organic, whatever, make it at home, put in your thermos, take it to work. Now you've saved on cups, you saved the environment, you saw all that stuff. Plus, you saved yourself a lot of money in paying per cup from a chain or from a coffee shop. And then usually when you go there, you might even buy a donut, and that's so then I don't know however much a donut costs, or a muffin or whatever. Less temptations for you to go in and have to buy more. Same as when you go to a pub, you buy around, someone else buys around, and then there's a saying that I remember from a long time ago. It went something like this. Let's see if I can remember it. We drink to one another's health, and we ruin our own. I mean, I know that in Canada, in particular, we drink a lot of alcohol. We consume a lot of alcohol. It's not good. Again, if you're going to be here, you're going to need your kidneys. You're going to need your liver. You know what I mean? If your intention is to come here for better health, better air quality, better, I don't want to live long, but if I want to, for as long as I'm going to be living, I want to live as pain-free as I can. So there is enough outside forces to reduce your capability or endurance or whatever of your years of your life. Don't add to it by drinking and smoking and all this stuff. We're talking about money, but I know that's the same thing, because you pay enough interest to your bank for your car loan, for your tuition, student loan, all these things. Don't add to it by spending more money than you have. Do you know what I mean? Staying with the topic of interest, I borrowed. I know this is ridiculous, but I'll tell you anyway. See, I share everything with you, an open book. We bought our first house in 1994. I don't even go by the Christian calendar, but whatever, just so you know. 94, 95. We borrowed 97, I think it was 97% of the cost of the house. In other words, we only put down 3% down payment. I'll let you digest that for a second. That is insane amount of interest. And for the first, at least half of the life of your mortgage, you're paying pretty much all you're paying is interest. And then once you go past the halfway mark, then you're paying more interest than principal. But in the first half, you're paying more interest than principal. So my point is, either put down a bigger down payment, or what you can do today is, instead of paying a monthly mortgage payment, it won't cost you anymore. Pay bi-weekly. That is to say, you're paying 2 payments. So put this way, if you're paying $1,000 a month for your mortgage, I know you're paying a lot more probably than $1,000 a month for your mortgage, some of you. But if you're paying $1,000 a month for your mortgage, instead of paying a one monthly payment of $1,000, pay 2 $500 payments twice a month. So Every second week you pay $500. Better yet, and I'll tell you why I'm saying this, better yet, pay weekly. So same $1,000 now, I'm not asking you to pay more. Same $1,000 divided into 4. So every week you pay $250 a month into your mortgage. The reason why you're doing that is because the bank, their algorithm or whatever, every time you make a payment, it recalculates how much you owe. So not only by paying weekly, you make 52 payments, and that's, you know how some months have 4 weeks and some months have 5 weeks in them. So it's like you're making an extra payment of $1,000 by the end of the year without you even knowing it, because you're still paying weekly. You're not paying any more than you were before, and yet you've made an extra payment by the end of the year. So by doing this, you reduce the age of your mortgage from, say, 30 years to 19 years by going weekly. Now, I don't know if they would allow it, but if you could pay daily, that's even better. So that same $1,000 a month would be something like, say, if you were to pay $40 a day, every day, that's times 365. But every time you make that $40, they recalculate what you owe, and you pay back that mortgage. Instead of 30 years, maybe it'll take you, I don't know, maybe 12 years. Do you know what I'm saying? From 30 years? That's insane, isn't it? So that's a power of compounded interest. We were talking about smoking, and I forgot to mention this one thing. This is fairly new. It's not new because people have been smoking weed since I was in high school. Only I never, thankfully, I think, and I'll tell you why I say thankfully. I know it's natural. I know in the cigarettes, there's something like 360 toxins and all these kind of carcinogens in them. You look that up, and that filter at the end of it, that ain't taking all those toxins out. But and you're probably arguing, well, I smoke weed, and weed is natural and whatever, and helping you with whatever. Yes, maybe. I don't know how much weed costs. I don't smoke that. I've never smoked it. I don't know how much it costs. But I'm asking you to possibly consider this. As natural as it is, there is a markup on it. So it's not like you're growing your own. I mean, here you could, because you have the space, you could grow your own. But if you're buying it, you have to pay someone for the processing and the growing and all that. Just like anything else that you buy from the store, like lettuce or anything else. So he wants to make money too. She wants to make money too. So, but the thing is that I'm noticing a lot of people are smoking weed, and the frequency of it is such that it's become a crutch. So like, how can I, someone cuts you off, you get too many red lights on your way to work or come back, you're all stressed out, I have to light my weed because I had a bad day. But a red light or somebody cutting you off, that's just part of life. That's not so bad, so painful that you need to keep your food down, that's not the same reason as that. And that becomes a question, and you want to smoke it more and more and more and more, and that's just money. I'm not trying to take money away from someone else that's growing this stuff. I'm just saying my job is to save you money by telling you how you can do with less, by smoking less, by drinking less. These are all ways you can save money today. And for what? If, like I said, if the intention is to live here mortgage free, debt free, own your own car, pay back your mortgage, your student loan, or whatever, I don't know, maybe you owe people some money, and these are ways to do it. And these little things, you might think, well, what's $100 or $200 or whatever dollars a week? Well, it adds up. It's sort of like if you've heard that saying, death by 1,000 cuts. It adds up. It honestly adds up. Right now, I told you a few ways that you can save money. I'm hoping you write these things down, these ways down, and do the math for yourself. I'm not going to know how much you smoke or how much you drink or what you smoke. No one else is going to know. It's just you and your piece of paper and maybe your spouse. And then that's the other thing. If you have a spouse, then you multiply that by 2. You know, if you have a cell phone that you have a high package or whatever for your data or whatever, I don't know what I'm talking about. Do you really need that high? Do you need to be on TikTok all the time? That you need that? You require that much data? Can you go down? Can you go down? Reduce it to the next lower level. It adds up. Honestly, it adds up. Do you need that newest phone? Do you need that newest thing, whatever it happens to be? I'll give you an example. The phone I have now is only my third cell phone, and it's older. And historically, I buy the phones that are either um, refurbished or used or whatever. And when I get it, and so far I've had no trouble with them until they die. So the one that I have now, I think, is 7 years old and is still moving. Yes, it's heavy. Yes, after a while, it hasn't reached the point where it's obsolete and I can no longer do the software update. It's not there yet, and it's 7 years old and it's paid for. And I don't care that if I don't look cool. And who am I going to look cool in front of? The woodpeckers. By the way, I heard one today. The poor guy's early, but anyway, the woodpeckers are not like other birds that are dependent on whatever. Their food is literally in the tree. They can. So it's not like, oh, I can't find any worms. There's no grass or whatever. They're not dependent. But still, he's a bit early because it's kind of cold still. Sorry about that. Digressing there, but yeah, cell phones, computers, like my laptop, I also buy it. Refurbished, and when I buy one, when my old laptop dies, and I buy this new one, and for me, it's wow, it's super fast and lots of storage and processing speed and whatever. I don't even know. The screen is crisper. I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean, right? So I may be always a few years behind the newest, the latest, whatever technology. I'm okay with it. What am I doing? Am I playing video games on it? Am I writing code? Am I doing AI stuff or what? I don't know, but you know what I mean? But I'm saving $500 by buying refurbished or maybe more. Depends on where you get it from. So that's another way of saving money. So all these little bit of increments at the end of the year, if you're saving something like, it might add up to about $5,000 a year. Like, for instance, if you're traveling now, do you travel a lot? A lot. What's a lot? More than once a year? I haven't traveled anywhere in the past 40 years. I think I've been on a plane twice. Not, folks, I'm not one of those righteous, whatever, the carbon footprint of an airplane. No, I love the miracle of flight. When I remember vividly, for those 2 times that I've been on a plane, I'm glued to the window. I'm all about the big picture, and for me to be able to look down and see the big picture, the farmland, the mountains, the mountain chains, whatever, you know what I'm talking about, right? And the lakes, the rivers, the oceans. I remember those, even though it was 20 years ago. I still remember that last time that I was on it. So I'm not against flying, but I mean, do you really need to fly, that many times once a year? I suppose. I don't know. For me, I would rather have no mortgage, no debt. I would rather have. I don't have any earnings. My earnings, as you know, is only 5,000 a year, and I would rather leave something. I don't have I never had an inheritance, so I would rather leave some money for my daughter. And so, when you're young, when you're starting out, that's when you need the money, not when you're in your 40s or 50s and then you come to some money from your inheritance and you say, what? You already have a good job. Your kids are old enough. You've moved out, and your debt is so much less than when you were in your 20s. Hopefully, you don't have a debt. So yeah, you come to some money, and that's good. But really, when we need the money, is when you're younger. I'll give you an example. I mentioned to you the first house. This is good. I have this on just documented it. Just I don't know how many minutes ago I said this. Our first house, we borrowed 97%. Now look at this. It's a 30-year mortgage. Even by the way, I paid it down. Excuse me, 19 years. 19 years is a lifetime to owe the bank's money or credit union, whoever you're borrowing it from, at whatever the rate you're borrowing it from. By the way, my rate was over 7% in '94, just to show you. But 7%, 19 years, that's a lot of money wasted. What if I can leave something for my daughter so she doesn't, when I see or hear of people that live in the same house as their parents, that they inherit the house or the property, whatever, from their parents. Now, whether she keeps this place, sells it, whatever, for whatever reason she needs it after I'm gone, that's up to her. But the fact that if you could leave some money for your loved ones like that, or a property or whatever, some kind of inheritance, isn't it better that way than to enjoying? I don't know. Is coffee that enjoyable? Is weed that enjoyable? Is cigarettes, alcohol that enjoyable? I don't know. I don't do any of that stuff. I know that I love this place. I know I love these trees, even the snow. I love this where I am. And so my money goes, whatever penny I have, amount of however pennies that I have, goes into this place. And I love it, and it appreciates in value. Everyone knows. Land is never going to go down in price. There are only maybe less than a handful of places where land is growing, like Iceland, Hawaii, where there's a volcano, active volcano, or something like that. Everywhere else, there's erosion. Even in New Brunswick, in many parts of Canada, the two coasts, where sea level is rising, people are losing land over there. So land is going to really appreciate, just like antiques and that kind of thing. So here I am, trying to, with the little bit of money that I had, got this place. It's my investment that I can pass on to someone else. And I even mentioned, I wouldn't even mind sharing it with the right people, that so that they can save their money by not having to buy land. Maybe they can save their money, and we can create a pool and share our resources and that kind of thing. But my point is, today, right now, you have a choice. You have a chance to save some real money by paying down your mortgage faster, by doing accelerated payments, by buying, not traveling as often, by buying what you need. Food, if you're buying food from outside, I don't know how many times a day, like prepared food, like I'm not even talking about necessarily processed food, but if you go to a restaurant and get like I'm not talking about processed food like fast food, like a casual dining or whatever. They have an overhead. They have to pay for their staff. They have to pay for their the lights and insurance and whatever else. So obviously they're going to have a markup on it. But if you can cook at home, I mean, I love cooking and baking at home, but if you can do that at home too, you can save yourself so much money. I never mentioned that before. I don't know why not. That's a lot of money right there. And then you have to tip, and then obviously you have to tip. Everybody needs money. I started by telling you everybody needs money. So that waiter also needs money. Do you know what I mean? I have more respect for this guy. I think I mentioned in one of my other videos, Sam Altman, the guy that started the OpenAI, the biggest AI thing that everyone knows about. OpenAI. I know some of you are shouting at me the name of it, but ChatGPT. He has a $14 million car, from what I heard. It's true or false, I don't know. And he also recently went and bought a 950-acre farm because that's the plow going by. Wow, that's nice. 900 950-acre farm because he's a prepper. You see what I'm trying to say? I have more respect for someone like that because he's spending his money, and I'm not saying you shouldn't spend your money, but spend your money as wisely as you can. He's investing in land, and that car that he bought, you might say that who needs a $14 million car? Nobody needs a $14 million car, but I have more respect for him for having spent that $14 million. He could have put it in the bank and not spent that money. But that $14 million now gets to spread around, gets to move around. The money moves around. The guy that sold it can buy whatever for his kids, and there is a ripple effect. But what I'm asking you is not. I'm not trying to ask you to be a penny. Not whatever. Don't not spend any money. I'm just saying spend only what you can on what you need. That guy can afford to buy a $14 million car. You can't. You may not be able to afford to buy a $100,000 car or even a $50,000 car. So buy a less expensive car. Maybe you can share with someone the ownership of a car. I'm not saying don't have anything, don't live, or don't travel, or don't eat. I'm just saying cut back on what's bad for your health and bad for your pocket. Just something else came to me. I can't remember. It's gone now, but oh, this yellow jacket that I'm wearing. Boy, it was late 90s when this American apparel company came to Canada. And that's when people would go to malls. I don't know if some of you know what I'm talking about. Malls. Malls, shopping centers. No? Okay. We used to have to go to malls to buy shoes or whatever. And I walked by this store, when I was at the mall, and it looked expensive to me. I didn't need it, whatever. And there was a year, and I think it was in March or April, where they had a big, gigantic 70% off sale on their window front. So I go, well, that's a cue for me to enter this invitation. So I walk in, and I go straight to the back of the store where that rack is that's 70% off. And I saw this jacket, and I love this jacket because it's actually 2-in-1. It's got a liner inside that I can unzip and wear it by itself on a lighter day. And it's not showing any sign of stress, zero. Maybe one day I'll show it to you. But I love this because it has these extra elbow patches. I love these. But it has all these zippers side zippers where I can, when I shovel snow like I've been doing today, and I have to go again after I do this. I love pockets. It's got lots of pockets. I love it. I just love it, and I've loved the color, and it's not ripped or frayed or shown any sign of wear at all. Zero, like zero. Yes, it's gotten dirty, and I don't know how to make it that clean. But I don't wear it to town, and I didn't wear it every day. But guess how long I've had it. I gave you a little hint earlier, but guess how long I've owned this for. And I bought this new. I know I don't buy everything used from a charity shop, but I bought this new. Ready? It's 25 years old. I don't know if you can see the back of it. It's 25 years old. I'm not advertising for this company. I'm not advertising for any company. I'm not sponsored by any company, and there's no ads on this. But my point is that there's some things you can buy for life, like cast iron cookware. If you don't like the look of the cast iron because it's black and you think whatever, that's art, that's like old or whatever, old way of using things, which is actually really good for you, that iron that's in it. You can buy ones that have enamel on the outside. They're pretty yellow. I have a bunch. Maybe one day I'll show you it. Yellow, orange, red, beautiful, and they're cast iron. You buy that for life, one time. And if you buy it on sale or from the charity shops that I go to, you don't even have to pay the full price. You buy it, and you can even hand that down to your kids, and they can hand it down to their kids. The only way to damage something like that is if you leave it outside in the rain and whatever, and get rust, and maybe it will warp or something. But they're really indestructible. So if you're going to buy something, invest in something quality. And like I said, charity shops are fine. You're helping a charity too at the same time. And some places, charity shops don't even charge you tax. I think they're tax exempt. I'm not sure. But anyway, So as I get closer to you, you can take a look at this jacket. I'm not making this up. It's not showing anywhere, and I love it. I just love it. Anyway, I hope I was able to convince you that if you are finding it hard to save money, these are some of the ways that you can do it. And I hope you do at least one of the things that I said today. I mean, even if I know smoking is a habit, but it's also I mean, it's an addiction. So if you can go from smoking a pack a week to smoking a pack every 2 weeks, and then a pack every 3 weeks, and then a pack every 4 weeks. Really, the hardest time is the first few weeks. After that, it'll just drop. All of a sudden, you'll be smoking a pack a year. Honestly, that's a lot of money you can save. It's not a judgment thing. I'm just trying to tell you that these are things you can, same for coffee or drinking coffee or alcohol. That's so if you can reduce it, you don't have to go cold turkey. You can reduce it a little bit at a time. And maybe sometimes it's time for new friends. A good friend won't give you a hard time by saying, "Oh, now you're not my smoking buddy or drinking buddy or whatever buddy." They would recognize someone who wants to live a healthier life now, and maybe instead of pressuring you, maybe you can be a good influence on them. You know. Anyway, folks, be good to yourselves, and if you can, and I know it's not easy, be good to someone else. Take good care.